Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ba'd. Three reminders today. First is about Laylatul Qadr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, He says in a surah which many of us have memorized, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ, that indeed we have sent it down in the night of power. He's referring to the Quran. Allah explains that the night of power is actually better than 1,000 months. So what is this night of power? This night of power is the night in which the Quran was revealed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He's going to reward people. Good deeds will be multiplied as if there were 1,000 months of worship that you were performing by doing one thing. So this is a great opportunity we should not miss. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, whoever spends Laylatul Qadr in night prayer out of belief, imanan wa ihtisaban, out of belief and expecting reward from Allah, his previous sins will be forgiven. So this is something very, this is an amazing opportunity that we have and we should not miss. So it's very important to understand that Laylatul Qadr is already in these last 10 nights of Ramadan in which we're in right now. And the exact night we don't know for sure. So what we should be doing is we should be trying to worship Allah extra, especially at nighttime when we're performing our night prayers. Add some extra prayers in. Maybe read longer verses or surahs from the Quran, so you can get more reward during this time. So some people think it's a 27th night or the 29th night. It could be any one of these last 10 nights, more likely one of the odd nights. So we put a little bit more effort into those specific nights as well. So a few suggestions for Laylatul Qadr. A few suggestions for these last 10 nights in terms of what we can do. Number one, don't look back at what you've missed. Okay, don't look back and be like, you know what, Ramadan, I haven't been on my A game. I could have done so much more. Yesterday is done. Okay, think about what you can do right now. And at night, diversify your worship. Do some prayer, read some Quran, make some dua, read some books, take a break, come back, do some more prayer. Try to diversify because it's hard, sometimes if you're just doing only prayer, it's hard for you to continue for a very long time. So when you diversify it and you try different things, it gives you some level of variety. Number three, try to aim for excellence. Don't cut corners, but try to really focus in your prayer. I think a lot of people, they aim for quantity, and you should also be focusing on quality as well. So try to really focus in your prayer and remove distractions. And that is even better than having a large amount with very little attention that is being put in or paid, to whatever you're doing. Number four, focus on the reward. The great thing is, sometimes we focus on the effort. It's my back is hurting and these extra rak'ahs, these extra units, they're going to take a long time. It's going to be a little bit challenging for me. Focus on the reward that you can get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the more you think about the reward that you're going to get, 1,000 months, that will put all the back pain or the foot pain or whatever else is going on, it'll put all of that to the side. Number five, just get moving. Okay, so a lot of people, they're sitting there, they're thinking, I'll do it a little bit later, or maybe I'll start later and I'll do more. Just start moving. Once you start moving, you get it momentum. And the concept of momentum is that once you start moving, the movement continues. So momentum is something very important, not just in physics, but it's also very important when it comes to getting yourself in motion so that you can actually get more done. And the best dua to make on these nights is what the Prophet ﷺ taught us, and that is, Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni, which means, oh Allah, you are the forgiving, you love to forgive, so forgive me. You can make this dua in English, you can make this dua in Urdu, you can make it in Arabic, you can make it in any language. After your prayer, for example, what you should do is you should sit down and you should be making this dua. You can make it in the prayer if you can say it in Arabic, during the right time where you're allowed to make dua in prayer, or when you finish your prayer, you can make that dua afterward as well. In between when you're reciting Quran, all of that is fine. The next thing is we should really count our blessings. You know, when we're fasting, three of the blessings are taken away from us. Food is taken away, drink is taken away, and the ability, to be intimate, is also taken away. So, you know, these are things we lose. So if you ate cereal in the morning, your cereal is gone. If you drank coffee in the morning, your coffee is gone. Your water is gone. Those things are gone, right? So you've only lost these three things, and people start whining. They're like, "Oh, I don't have this." It's challenging, but if we look at it from this perspective, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you tried to count the blessings of Allah that He's given you, you would not even be able to enumerate them. You would not be able to count them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَغَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Indeed, Allah is forgiving and merciful. Just think about this. You're not eating, you're not drinking, you're not able to be intimate, but you can breathe, you can see, you can hear, you can talk, you can digest the early morning breakfast that you had. You can still think, your mind still works, your heart is still beating. I mean, everything, if you just look at all the blessings that we have that we take for granted, even with the novel coronavirus, we've lost some other blessings. Our packages that we're ordering, they don't ship as fast as they used to. Challenging. Some people are on furlough. It's difficult. They've lost their jobs, at least temporarily. It is challenging, but we've lost some of those blessings. We realize what a blessing they were. Think about all the other blessings you still have in Ramadan. That's when you'll start to appreciate them. If you try to count all the blessings Allah has given you, you'll never be able to do it. There are people who they wish they could fast. They don't. They can't. They're deprived of their health. Some people, they wish they could just make one sajda on the floor, but their knees won't allow it. They have some kind of condition. So appreciate those blessings before Allah takes them away. Because if He takes them away, then you'll realize what those blessings really meant to you and what they were really worth. And the last thing is, remember that there is a fitrah that is due. Fitrah, or zakatul fitr, or sadaqatul fitr. Now don't be confused. Zakatul fitr is different from zakat. It's very important that Muslims need to pay their zakat. Whenever that is, they need to learn very basic of how to pay zakat. Pretty much, if you are fairly just well off, middle class, then you're supposed to be paying 2.5% on all the wealth that you have after one lunar year. To learn how to pay zakat, it takes only a few minutes. You can just, watch a video or read an article on it. Make sure to pay your zakat. But also, Eid is around the corner. So Eid is going to be next week when Ramadan is over. And Muslims are supposed to celebrate. And inshallah, we will be celebrating, even if we're celebrating in a restricted way. Some people, they cannot afford to even celebrate the day of Eid. Right? They have to work for their necessities. So this idea of zakatul fitr or sadaqatul fitr or fitrah, it solves that problem. So pretty much everyone who has about $5,000 in savings, they need to be giving on behalf of every family member about $10 to $20. They should be donating that as zakatul fitr. Our masjid IAOC, we can accept this online when we donate. Put $12 per person in the household, and make sure to write in the note that this is fitrah or sadaqatul fitr, and it'll go to those people specifically who need that money to be able to celebrate the day of Eid. So do that early so that we can distribute it to them properly, and the money can actually get to them so they can also enjoy the day of Eid. Many people, they can't afford gifts for their children. They can barely afford to even take a day off from work. So it is something that is also very important to do. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our fasting, to accept our prayers. We ask Allah to make these last 10 nights the most fruitful nights of our worship. We ask Allah to make us among the people who have full concentration and full humility in our prayers. Ameen. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Nastaghfirukallah wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.